One of the reasons I like this poem so much is because I can relate to it. When you can relate to a poem, it almost seems to make more sense.
In The Daffodils, William Wordsworth comments on relationships. This could be a friend, a relative, an acquaintance, but the poems show me why I should appreciate all of these things. Next year, college will separate me from the family and friends I have grown up around. In the poem, freedom is not always sufficient because it invites loneliness. College will give me the freedom that I've always wanted. Thinking about how much freedom I have is almost kind of scary. But to pursue this aspect of life, I am leaving the people that have shaped me growing up. The daffodils taught me to hold on to these relationships, and that freedom will show me what is important, because freedom is no fun if you have no one to share it with. The Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on a high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. William Wordsworth was born in 1770 in Cockermouth, England. His mother died when he was young, and his father died when he was only 13, leaving him and his 4 siblings orphans. He attended Hawkshead Grammar School, where he began to write poetry. He went to college in Cambridge, then left for a tour of Europe. He spent a period in France where he came in contact with the French Revolution, and here it was where he came to appreciate the common man, which is reflected in his writing. He became good friends with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and together they worked on lyrical ballads, which is one of the most prominent works of the Romanticism period. Wordsworth's The Prelude was his most famous work, which he revised numerous times throughout his life. The purpose of this poem is to show why it is important to appreciate companionship. Wordsworth demonstrates this purpose through the speaker's observations of daffodils. In order to show his purpose, Wordsworth uses similes. The similes show contrasting freedoms, using a cloud and the daffodils. Clearly the speaker is not satisfied with his freedom being a cloud since he is lonely looking at the daffodils. These contrasting similes demonstrate the advantages of having company. He then uses personification to further this importance. The daffodils are free as they toss their heads, but the human characteristics of dancing furthers Wordsworth's purpose, since dancing is normally for or with someone. The act of dancing is clearly important to the speaker since he mentions it 3 times. The dancing symbolizes companionship. Wordsworth uses an A-B-C-C end rhyme scheme that helps the poem flow like a song, directly relating to dancing. The repetition of the phrase "I gazed" when the speaker is looking at the daffodils shows how he longs to be just like them. Choosing dancing is an important word choice, since a dance is an individual act that impacts others. This is metaphorical of the quality an individual brings to companionship, and these companionships are what the speaker so much desires.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along a margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such jocund company. I gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Through the personification of the daffodils dancing, the similes regarding freedom, and other sound devices, William Wordsworth is able to show that his purpose is to demonstrate freedom does not involve happiness unless you have someone to share your freedom with. This is why companionships are so valuable in life.
Can I teach them about Star Wars?
And I know that I should always appreciate relationships like this, and that's what Wordsworth taught me through the daffodils.